Welcome to the Panic Button, everyone. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie.
So today, Hasan Piker is going viral for doing something that is reprehensible, and we're going to be reacting to a video that covers it. Here we go.
Imagine waking up in the morning and realizing you are the #1 top trending topic, but not for one of your many brain-dead political takes, but for allegedly electrocuting your own dog. As yesterday on Hasan's stream, while talking about America's violence, this happened.
It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby. You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Later denying he shocked his dog.
And most spoiled dog on the planet. Is from when Kaya yelped. Yeah, she yelped because she fucking clipped herself on something when she was getting off the bed.
Now obviously Twitter wasn't buying this narrative, as in slow motion it didn't really seem like she clipped herself on anything. Or even XQC broke it down frame by frame how it appears Hasan reached for something when she yelps.
Hand over.
Fuck.
About to press.
Yeah.
Still moving. Now goes forward. I'm assuming probably has let's say a Steam Deck, right? Hand forward. Now that was his arm forward. Now his hand going forward probably. See? A little bit more.
Go.
Bang. It would be in the next 3 frames.
So, yeah, if you didn't see it, people are speculating that Hasan has a shock collar on his dog, and that's what's going on. And it's kind of crazy when you see the footage, because you do see the light going off when he's obviously reaching for something. You could say he's reaching for anything, but it is odd that the dog has obviously an electric collar on and yelped as he was clearly getting frustrated with the dog for moving off the bed. The dog could have been turning around. We don't know. Did you see the dog hit its paw on anything? Catch itself on anything? Because I didn't.
No.
And you can see pretty much all of that dog.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and watch it back. The light that they keep showing is apparently the indicator that Hasan clicked the button.
And that the shock collar is working.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you have a shock collar, most people, when they have shock collars, it's usually because they have a lot of land and they don't want their dogs going off the land or in the road where they can get hurt. So they have like a giant perimeter where the electric fence is. But what it seems to be here is that his perimeter is incredibly small. Like the perimeter is just around that little bed.
He doesn't have a perimeter. There's no fence. It's a collar with a button that you click.
Right. But let's say he didn't click the button, right? That would mean that the perimeter is only around that little bed. It's possible.
It is
If
possible,
not-
but it's also like really dumb because that perimeter would have to always be active. You'd have to turn off the collar when you're letting him around the house.
Mm-hmm. I mean, anything is possible. I'm just throwing some speculative theories out there.
I'm just saying you'd have to, like, you saw him look over at the dog and then move to go click something. There's
Yeah.
no perimeter. The dog didn't step off the bed and then get shocked. The dog started moving, and when Hasan got irritated, then the dog yelped in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Which also was a yelp in pain, not like I'm scared.
Or a yelp of surprise.
Yeah, it was clearly a high, shrill, I'm getting hurt kind of yell.
Mm-hmm. Now he just got this dog not too long ago, so this dog is still a very young dog. So when Hasan is streaming for like 8 hours, this dog is sitting in place the whole time. Number one, young dogs don't do that. They want to be moving around. They want to be doing dog stuff. They don't want to be laying down like an old dog would for hours on end a day. So I think he actually got this dog to make himself look more relatable to people, to look more like a regular person who likes animals. But he's just using the dog as a prop in the background. The dog isn't anything more than a thing to Hasan, not something that's part of the family or a living thing. You know, it's all for his image, which is absolutely disgusting.
If you notice in the clips that you see of him, when someone does something, you're subscribed, there's an image of a dog that pops up in the bottom left corner. And I do think it's for image. I don't think he actually cares about this dog. It's evident. He uses the dog as a little image in the background and gets frustrated when the dog moves or causes any disruption, any attention that's not on Hasan. And so, at the very least, you can tell that he is jealous and mad at the dog at any given point. I'm not even I'm not accusing him of shocking the dog, even though I do believe he did that. I'm saying he hates the dog. You can tell. He gets so frustrated. He calls the dog spoiled, like it's his younger sibling. Like he's jealous of the dog. It doesn't make sense. He's not, and he doesn't love his animal. He's jealous that the dog gets attention and knows he keeps the dog around for attention.
Well, he definitely keeps it around for attention, but to him, it was just another purchase. Just another purchase.
Well, he said it's his mom's, right? It's from his mom. That's what he just said.
From his mom?
He said the dog's all spoiled from his mom. So
yeah, because he lives with his mom.
So the dog, and it must be more of his mom's dog than his.
No, he bought the dog. The dog is his, but I think the dog would prefer to be around his mom.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he just treats the dog like it's a thing, not part of the family. Like
Not
most people
a
do.
living, breathing creature with feelings.
Yeah, that wants to go do dog things. Doesn't want to sit down on a freaking cot for 8 hours a day
To look
while
good for
his
views.
controlling, abusive owner streams.
Yeah, to look good for views.
It's disgusting. But he was one day thinking, how can I make my background look more appealing to my viewers? How could I look more appealing and more likable to my viewers? I'll use a dog.
I know many, many guys who get dogs just to get women. I'm not saying that because he seems a little fruity. I'm not saying that's why he did it, but I can see the pipeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes me look better.
Now, obviously, everything is still speculative, but the more the internet collectively digs into this, the worse it gets for Hasan. As a time-lapse shows, somehow, Hasan gets his dog to stay still on this tiny mat, strategically framed for his live stream, for over 4 hours. People even found a 3-month-old video where the dog's collar appears to have a little light on it, as whenever he notices her leaving the frame, she knows to get back on the mat.
Now, who in their right mind would get mad that your dog is moving around in the background while you're streaming? You see my dog roaming around in the background all the time and playing. You don't see us getting angry about it because he's a young dog. He's 2, and he wants to do fun dog things.
He's also a dog. He's currently sleeping on the couch over there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is, and I have a cat, and we don't have her here right now, but if we did, you might see her. She might pop up in the middle of our videos, and we might have to clip that out, or we might leave it in as a cute little error. The thing is, you have animals and you love them. Do they frustrate you sometimes? Of course, because that's life. But they definitely don't do it intentionally. Unless you have that occasional spite thing where you did something to them, so they did something to you. Like I had my sister stick a dog's nose and pee, and that night, that dog peed on my sister's head. Was it funny? Was it definitely out of spite? But
Probably.
like, was it not logical in an animal kingdom? So and now back to the topic. How many dogs do you know that get a look like that and instantly go back to laying down? Dogs that have been severely taught that doing something is wrong simply as moving off the bed. If the dog wants to go wander around your house and you haven't trained the dog to use the bathroom, that's your fault, bud.
I want Cesar Milan to do a reaction video to this.
Oh, that'd be insane.
It would. But like this, it's a young dog. He shouldn't be just sitting on a cot for 4 hours straight. That's what old dogs do. Young
That's what
dogs,
really
they wanna
old
be
dogs do.
dogs. Yeah, he can't get up to go pee. He can't get up to go get a drink of water. Like, what a disgusting human being. Save the dog. Save the freaking dog.
Agreed.
That's crazy.
Also noticing that whenever the chat starts spamming messages about the dog's freedom, he conveniently scrolls away from it, digging even further, where he admits to having a shock collar.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar. for Fish and his dogs. For Fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Being warned that the dog's collar is
See? For barking. That's how you know it's not a perimeter. It's not for wandering. It's not for keeping the dog in the property. It is for barking, which means that they have this something, you click.
Dogs bark.
They do.
I mean, if you are irritated with things that dogs do, why get a dog?
You can
Optics.
also pay lots of money for people to train your animal so that you can.
Well, why train your animal when you can abuse your power and abuse the dog and feel a dominance and a hierarchy over a innocent thing? Because that's what Hasan is like, part narcissist, part sociopath. He enjoys feeling dominance and power over innocent things, apparently.
These are not medical opinions. These are just personal opinions. Don't take these as diagnoses. This is simply opinions.
So I don't think people like this should have animals, man. They're no. Just no.
I agree. And how, like, I think I said this. Did I say this during the video that he's jealous of the dog?
Yeah.
Did I
You
say
did.
that upstairs or down here?
You said down here.
Okay, good. Because
Just
he's clearly
recently.
jealous of the dog. He's jealous of the attention. It's really disgusting.
dog's collar is way too tight.
I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we go.
You have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's a lot of neck meat.
Openly admitting he doesn't care if he
Someone should put a collar on his ass, and when it's too tight, just say, "Oh, it's neck meat." Like, how disgusting do you have to be? Like, anyone who's ever had a dog in their life knows that you have to at least get 2 fingers underneath it. Could you imagine walking around, living your life every day, and you have something around your neck that's literally choking you to where you can't get 2 fingers in? Like, it's very easy to Google this and know the answer to it.
And what if your dog is allergic to bees and gets stung, or gets unfortunately stung by a large hive of wasps or something, which causes swelling across their entire body, including their neck. So now their neck is swelling and now they can't breathe because it's stuck.
So what's his excuse for having that collar so tight it's choking the dog?
He didn't have an excuse. He just said that the dog has a lot of fat, so he didn't loosen it. So you're saying either you put the collar on the dog months ago and never checked it, or
You don't care?
you just don't care, or you want it to be choking your dog.
Yeah. I'm saying both of those. Yeah.
And they make choker collars that are actually like things that we've used. And I don't necessarily agree with them. I don't know how good they are, but they're like just chains, not with the studs, and they just pull and then they loosen. And even those aren't that safe because if they get stuck, then they just keep pulling on themselves.
There's actually a photo of him with another dog that he had that had a choke collar, but it was the one that had the things that dug into the neck.
The prongs, yeah.
Yeah, where it goes all the way around. So this guy obviously is not like you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat their animals.
You can see the fear in that dog, man, and that's just sad. You're supposed to make your animal feel safe and trust you. And there's no trust behind that dog's eyes.
doesn't care if a dog can breathe correctly.
Just such a lib ass, like, oh, dude, please don't get a Frenchie. I just wrote a Vox article talking about how problematic they are. Like, I don't give a I know they have breathing problems. I know they're incredibly fucking inbred. I don't give a Like, I don't give a shit. This is a dog.
Again, we can't prove he shocked his dog yesterday, but we can prove he's a piece of trash, and that was even before all the
Text, it seems, to the clip of him saying that he doesn't care if a dog can breathe. It's a dog. He's talking about breeding purposes, like breeds having health issues. He's not saying that the collar was tight and therefore who cares, it's a dog. I do think that it's important to add context. I'm not trying to misquote anything. However, he still said, who cares if a dog can't breathe, it's a dog. That's like saying, who cares if a kid is born with a hair lip.
Who cares if a baby can't breathe? It's a baby, and then he gets a baby, and
I
you're
was
like,
gonna
what
say,
the shit?
If he's putting the collar on too tight, imagine him changing a baby's diaper. That baby's legs would be fucking purple.
I don't think this guy's ever going to have children.
No,
and if he does,
but like basic adult things that you would like 20, 30 years ago would expect anyone to be able to do. If he was doing that, putting a diaper on a baby, he'd be strangling the baby's legs. He'd be like, oh, what does it matter? It's a baby. They won't remember.
Right, just like Denham said. It's like she pretty much said that whatever happens to a baby, it doesn't matter because they don't have long-term memory.
That totally is false because babies start having anxiety and start pulling on their hair and they start pulling on their skin and scratching their. Like babies are little people with complex thinking brains. Just because they don't know how to communicate doesn't mean that they don't experience feelings and fear and other things like that.
And that was even before all this dog controversy came up. So obviously people like his former co-host Ethan came out against him.
A clip of Hassan Piker is going viral right now of him shocking his dog Kaya for taking one step off of her mat. Let's take a look.
Kaya, please just fucking go, but just stop.
I always found it bizarre how Kaya, who's this young, energetic puppy, stayed in 1 square foot of Hassan's room, right in sight of camera, almost like just a prop in his room. Well, now we know why.
Possibly even finding the exact shot.
Ethan has his dogs all the time. That's probably where he got the idea from.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because when
his dogs are freely wandering and people always comment about his dogs. So I guarantee you that's where he got the idea to have his dog in frame from.
Well, but I've been watching Ethan for a while and I don't agree with him on a few things, but
he definitely takes care of his animals.
But I know he loves his animals. Yeah. I know he loves his dogs because he gets very upset when they get sick or like the one passed away who was a Yorkie, Shredder. So I know he really cares about his dogs and they're very like free range roaming around.
I don't think
the studio when they're filming and stuff.
I don't think they're bad people. I just don't agree with their takes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at least didn't he get a tattoo of his dog Shredder on his arm? I think he did.
But you can tell they care about their animals. Both of them. They're usually sitting in their laps or wandering around getting pet. Yeah, I was just realizing that's probably where, because I forgot they were co-hosts. That's probably exactly where he got the idea from. Is because the dogs were always around. The only difference is you can tell Ethan wants his dogs there. Because he wants his dogs there, because you don't see them laying around like a prop. They're walking around. They're being pet. They're being loved on.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you can tell every time the dog moves, this guy gets pissed.
And the dog is young.
It's a baby.
Young dog wants to.
It's a dog. It's an ant. It's a pet. If you didn't want something that moved, get a robot.
Or
if you wanted something
animal.
you could control, get a robot. Get a stuffed animal. Get a prop. Don't get an actual living, breathing thing. My cat would have to use a litter box. Why would I sit there and be like, "Oh, Phoenix, stay in your tree"? No, they're living, breathing things that have desires and needs. And I can't believe that anyone in their right mind is doing this on the internet and defending it.
Even dogs that work on film sets have more freedom and more range to roam than this poor dog does while Hasan is streaming. Like, it just proves once again that this guy is sociopathic, completely narcissistic, self-absorbed, unhinged, deranged, cannot control his emotions, crazy asshole person. He is a complete, utter
lunatic.
Yeah, he's freaking crazy. He wants to put forth the image that he is just like the regular person and he's relatable and see how relatable I am? I have a dog and my dog loves me so much that he wants to hang out with me while I'm doing my streams and he doesn't even want to leave. But behind the scenes...
He clearly wants to leave. What do you mean?
Behind the scenes is a different story where you're actually seeing that it's all fake, it's all for show, it's all for optics, and it's all to look a certain way. Meanwhile, who he really is completely opposite. And I hate him with a passion of 1,000 fiery suns.
If you ever watch Nuxanor, I love his videos on Hasan. They're long as hell, but I love them. Go ahead, watch them. I inspire you to.
The exact shock collar used, but Legal Mindset is now sharing information on how to inform the authorities, as several people are actually following through on it. Now it seems Reddit is...
For some reason, this guy is untouchable. Like Ethan and Ela, they had CPS called to their house over someone calling in and saying this and this and this is going on with no video proof, evidence, or anything like that.
Vulgar lies, crazy lies. They were talking about them being unalivers and stuff, weren't they?
They were saying, some crazy crap about them. And it was all Hasan's orbiters and fans who were doing this. But when you have video evidence of actual animal abuse going on, like, I can't believe that no one would follow up or go and check on this dog to make sure it's not being abused. And I also can't believe that Twitch hasn't gotten rid of this guy yet, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because I think they're all blowing him behind the scenes. For some reason, they're in love with this guy.
Maybe he's actually blowing them, and that's why they love him.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, remember we saw that video of, did you see the video of
You said the
Twitch staff?
They all wished him a happy birthday thing.
like,
I didn't see it,
singing
but
and
you
stuff.
told me.
It's like, is he part owner in Twitch? Is that why no matter what he does or says, he doesn't get kicked off of Twitch? I mean, this is obvious animal abuse. We all know that a lot of Americans love dogs, okay? They're part of the family. If he does not get completely canceled and kicked off Twitch from this, it won't surprise me, but man, is it pissing me off. Man, it will piss me off.
Well, at the very least, PETA, now or never, man. You know? Mm-hmm. You went over that. You went after that gorilla lady, and she at least loved the gorilla and put a lot of money into taking care of that gorilla. This guy doesn't even care about his dog. Go. Get him.
Somewhat running coverage for Hasan, as just looking at these massively upvoted memes of ultra-left Reddit seemingly turning on him, as apparently this was their line. Now, I normally would show a brief little montage of all the things Hasan has said that should have caused his audience to turn on him, but just because he isn't banned on Twitch for actually saying it, doesn't mean I wouldn't be struck down on YouTube for merely playing the insanely violent things he's called for. So this news appearance is the cleanest version of one of the tamest things he said that even then I still have to lightly censor.
But here's a quote from you about landlords who don't want to rent out their properties. You said, them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. Doesn't that make you part of the problem with violent discourse?
This was in a conversation that I was having with a landlord friend of mine, and it's of course hyperbolic, and it's not meant to be sincere. This is not sincere advocacy.
Where now, even VTubers are being contacted by Congress to provide receipts as to his online antics.
Believe it or not, someone in the government actually reached out to me and asked if I could actually provide evidence behind these bullet points. And I complied. They told me that they wanted to be prepared in regards to the hearing.
It really seems like the walls are finally collapsing around him, but one, I have zero confidence in establishment Republicans to actually do anything about him, but more importantly, his own audience is actually going to do him in over what they believe he did to his dog, as we've seen time and time again. They're not driven by hard evidence, they're controlled by emotions, which is a bizarre common theme amongst liberal leadership. I remember when New York Governor Cuomo was known for the nursing home deaths, where people believed he was mainly to blame for all of them, but even that didn't cancel him. It was his treatment of women that got him to resign. Same with California's governor shutting down the state, trying to implement digital passports to access anything, giving random authorities the ability to ask for your papers and identification, meanwhile reserving indoor fine dining to himself, letting Los Angeles burn multiple times in multiple places, literally dancing while talking about land grabs, letting the city burn once again during the ICE riots, and only getting concerned when he might face consequences, promoting how well California's firefighters are equipped, then being the single vetoing vote against them getting a raise, as he needs that money to protect illegals. But only when he painted President Trump in women's clothing, that's when ultra-left Reddit drew the line, and suddenly said, now we can't support him. As honestly, all this criticism is long overdue, but it's just interesting what it takes for the left to finally turn on you. Newsom can ruin lives for the last 5 years through his lockdown.
Yeah, in order for the left to actually want to take someone down, you have to offend the... You have to do
norms.
You have to do something against something.
They
or
really
someone
stand for.
that they really stand for, that they find is like a peak minority,
Cuomo
a peak innocence.
I hate Cuomo because of all the vape bans, which we could talk about if you really want me to, but Nina won't be here for that. I guarantee it. I hate Cuomo with a passion. And people did not get rid of him until the sexual assault charges came up. And the same thing is true of so many situations, and I'm sure it'll be the same here, because at the end of the day, these people might be a little crazy, but they still love things. They still aren't completely disconnected. They have pets. They have people that keep them stable, and saying kill these people, saying pets don't matter, things don't matter. You show your two-sidedness, and people are gonna walk the other way. And there's only so many times you can contradict the people that you say you stand for before they turn on you.
Like who?
What do you mean? Like who? Newsom's a perfect example of that, because he's all for trans this, trans that. I wanted trans women in women's sports. And then he backpedaled with the wasn't it Charlie Kirk interview? When he spoke with Charlie Kirk, he backpedaled there, and then went as far as to post Trump in women's clothing and called him the queen. And so people are now realizing that even though he says he's for the left, he's clearly not thinking as if he's along their group. And this is where they eat themselves, because if you're not thinking completely for the group, then you're against the group. And so making a joke, which, I mean, they've always put men in women's clothing as a joke. That's always been a joke.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's inherently transphobic. I think Newsom probably still loves trannies just as much.
Mm-hmm.
But now your side's going to turn against you. And especially since you backpedaled, you can only be flippy-floppy for so long. And Hasan isn't flippy-floppy, but he's not genuine.
Well, the progressive left, they're talking heads like Hasan, Newsom, AOC, Mamdani, Ilhan Omar. All these people, they say they stand for something, but then all their actions and even their words are completely hypocritical for what they actually stand for. Like Hasan's like, I hate capitalism, and yet he makes all his money through that. His dad made all his money through capitalism.
His uncle makes all his money through capitalism. And they all talk about how his uncle talks about how much he hates it too.
Yeah, he's so hypocritical. Like they're all so hypocritical. But for some reason, a lot of their fans can't see that. You know, the critical thinking switch is off in their brain. But then when something is blatant in their face, like animal abuse, then they'll say something. But it's got to be something that's literally slapping them in the face, saying, hey, wake up, McFly. You know, Hasan can call for a whole bunch of crazy stuff
for
that
the
would
red
get you
capitalist
banned off of
run through the
YouTube.
street. Yeah,
yeah, and they won't. They will be like, oh, whatever, you know, whatever, you know, out of context. But
I was gonna say there's the clip that everyone plays where he says that you should unalive Rick Scott. Everyone plays that clip all the time. Like there's things he's said that he clearly doesn't have any losses from, where we've gotten Trevor Project information, all of our stuff, and we're actually here saying, please don't convert gays.
Yeah, don't convert gays. But they're like, we're allowed to convert gays because we're helping trans kids. And so you're actually being the converter by not allowing them to convert to another gender.
Did you ever think maybe you're doing it too young? Maybe that's the only criticism that we're having. We're not saying that you shouldn't allow people to transition. We've never said that you shouldn't allow anyone to transition. We've never taken that position. We have simply said you should have more processes and more guidelines and more gatekeeping so that the people who aren't trans don't go through life-changing, altering things. Would you cut out someone's stomach if they didn't have a problem with it? Would you do open heart surgery if they didn't need it? That's what we're saying.
Forced medical procedures, and literal burning of entire communities to the ground. But the only thing they won't let you do is think it's funny to see Trump in a dress. Hasan can direct his audience to violence, say America deserved 9/11, and basically contradict himself in every sentence. But if he possibly shocked his dog, only then will Reddit finally say, wait, why are we making this guy rich and famous? So if you appreciate my insight.
Why do you think that is, that their talking heads can do all these things and say all these things, and they will look the other way? But then when the Trump in a dress or the dog shocking thing, why is that the thing that finally turns them against people like Hasan and Gavin?
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
These people are viewed as idols. They're not viewed as people. Mm-hmm. And so you think that they're better than you, they're smarter than you, they're someone you look up to, until you see something that you don't look up to. So the things they say that you might teeter with, you're not sure if you agree with or don't agree with, you're going to be more willing to hear and say, you know what, I like him, so I like that. You know, as most people would, right? Mm-hmm. Until you see something you really don't like. As a woman with the Cuomo situation, would you want to be sexually assaulted? No. When it comes to animals, would you want your dog being shocked? Would you want someone treating your animal that way?
No.
No. And so you can agree on a lot of policies, and you can look up to someone until you realize that they're actually not a good person. It's kind of like why I hate Adam Levine. I didn't hate his music. I thought he did pretty good in the music world. Not saying he deserved it, but he did pretty popular songs until I found out that he named his daughters after all the mistresses he's been with. And now, well, maybe not all of them, but he's definitely said in text messages that he's going to name his wife's baby after the women he slept with. And that's when I couldn't stand Adam Levine. Now that's all I can think about. That's every time I hear him sing, every time I see his face, that's all I can think about. It's not because I hate him or his ideas. It's because I heard one thing that I cannot forget. Mm-hmm. And it's stuck in there. And I'm sure you have people just like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And that's the thing is, you can like someone, and I know you've had this experience. You like someone, and then they do something, and you can't like them anymore.
I used to like Charlize Theron until she transed all her kids. And yeah, that was it for me. Couldn't get behind her after that.
And so you totally understand, and then you relate, and you understand why these people are put on a pedestal, because now you don't just have celebrities on TV, you have celebrities on YouTube. And even though they're not like big buck celebrities like on TV, they're still someone's celebrity.
Yeah.
They're someone's untouchable.
Well, anyway, what do you guys think? Why do you think that it takes people so long to actually want to cancel the people that they love, even though they've been doing horrible stuff the whole time? Why do you think it took Trump an address to get people to turn against Gavin, even though he's done the most craziest stuff and said the craziest stuff and lied? Why was it the Trump an address thing that did it for people? Why was it, even though I completely understand why, the dog shock collar thing? Why was it that turned people against Hasan and not the myriad of other reasons?
Hypocrisy.
Well, like very good reasons to get rid of him.
Hypocrisy.
Kick him off kick him off Twitch, or like stop watching him. Like fans going the other way and going against him. Like all the stuff he's done, people didn't go against him the whole time till the dog shot collar thing.
My opinion is because people thought he was a good person based on the things he said. And then the hypocrisy was shown with his actions. Same thing that happened with Newsom. But what's your opinion?
Like and subscribe. Join our memberships.
Sorry for the heavy topic.
Ring the bell. We love puppies.
Ring my bell. And we do love puppies.
This is Remy. He doesn't wear collars in the house.
He only wears them to go outside because that's the only time. But he gets excited when it's time to put it on, like he's wearing his fancy necklace.
Yes. But we don't let him wear collars in the house because I don't want him to feel choked.
He would if he could, but he doesn't really want to.
Yes. So this is Remy. This is how normal people treat puppies.
Can you look over the camera? This is how normal people treat puppies.
With love, because they're part of the family. He's a
You can't
miniature
tell.
schnauzer.
He's very comfy.
And sleepy.
Say hi to Remy. Yeah, sweet boy.
Okay, bye everyone. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Crawling, hard in love and falling, sneaking, stalking, follow you wherever you go. I follow